sense.
Hey, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Radio Gods, Father's Day edition, / COVID-19. All right, I'm going to introduce my people I got with me. I got Mr. Rothstein down here at the bottom of your picture, and I got Mr. Adam O over here on my left-hand side. They call me Yosemite Sam 314 all across my social media, okay? So today's topic, I'm just going to jump right into it. How important is communication, okay? And what I mean by that, by your business relationships, your personal relationships, is your communication through computers, Wi-Fi, cell phone, anything. So today I'm gonna start off with communication to me, and as in my relationship, is very important because when you have an open line of communication, that lessens arguments, that keeps things open to where you can converse, you can talk, and there's no misunderstanding, there's no in between, there's nothing going on, so everybody understands. Also, in a business relationship, I feel like, and it's just my definition on how I look on it when it comes to relationships. In a business relationship, if you look a man in the eye, you look a woman in the eye, you give a firm handshake, you telling them right off the back that I'm serious about what I'm telling you or what I'm about to say to you. And when I relay this information to you, that you understand it wholeheartedly and to the fullest, and you don't think nothing else outside of what I'm telling you. So with that being said, I'm gonna start off with you, Mr. Rothstein. How do you feel about it?
I believe it's very important because, like you said, in a relationship, I'm gonna say because people, and I'm gonna say for myself because I know my wife asks me sometimes like, "What you thinking?" or "What's wrong?" or "What's going on?" and I say nothing, but something to really be going on. It has nothing to do with the relationship, but it could be something outside. And so when you don't express it, you leave the other person wondering what's going on. And it kind of starts to build a wall when you don't communicate with the other person, like in your relationship. It build a wall of we don't communicate, we can't talk about nothing. And like you said, you won't never get nothing resolved if you don't communicate.
Do you feel like, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say on a business point of it, you gotta communicate because it is a business. And if you're not communicating, and that's just like a boss, or I'm your supervisor and we all at work and I never tell you what I expect out of you, what we need to get done and anything like that, then you have no idea.
Right.
And so it's a lack of communication all around. It's a lack of communication between, just say like with all the protests and all that stuff going on.
Definitely.
Everybody's talking, but nobody's actually sitting back and listening to the other person. So you got a whole lot of people talking and nothing's really getting accomplished.
Okay. Adam O, what's your take?
Oh yeah, communication in relationships is so important. There's always going to be issues, problems. You thinking that this person is doing this, they thinking that you're doing this. Communication is key. If you don't have that, then the relationship is not going to even move forward to the way that it's supposed to, because you can't fix the problem. That's how you fix problems in relationships, is through communication. Now, not even just in girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, through friends.
I was going to ask you that.
Communication is very important. All kind of relationships. Business-wise, the difference between relationships, you're dealing with friends, family, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, is you don't have to like the person when you're communicating business-wise, but it's key to communicate though.
Right.
We don't have to like each other, but we have to communicate so we can move forward to whatever direction we're moving in for our business.
Right.
That's true.
Kind of
So
like what we got going here. We sometimes have lack of communication.
Exactly.
you ain't lying. I don't think it's
I ain't
just
trying
with
to
us
put
though.
us on blast or nothing like that, but we have communicational issues over here sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's not putting us on blast because you just speaking facts. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's not just us.
Right.
It's
Even
not
the
just
whole
us.
thing like about people not being on the show, it was a lack of communication there where it could have been worked out if people would have communicated before it got to a boiling point.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
And so that's why I say if communication is very important because you can assume what somebody thinking, but you really don't know. And you know what they say, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me.
ASS Bucko. Yes, sir.
Right. And
So
so that's what I say, a lot of people do it. Like I said, people in relationships, you got people in relationships who automatically assume that the other party is cheating or something like that, and half of not gonna say half, some of the time they really don't. They just be out getting a breather.
and sometimes you need that, which also goes back to just relay the message. Look, I need a little breather. I'm finna go for a drive, a walk, a run, a jog. You get on your bicycle, not your bike, because some people say motorcycle when you say bike. Just things of that nature. Or they might get a cold and sit on the porch, sit in the garage, depending on the time of year it is. Like, today the first day of summer here in St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? So, it's pretty much going to be hot, so you can't sit in the garage. But this is not Webster's version or the definition of
Yesterday was the first
communication.
day of summer. I thought.
Huh?
I said I thought yesterday was the first day of summer.
Nah, today the 21st, sir.
You're right. I just thought it was yesterday.
So it says communication is the act of conveying meanings from one entity or group to another through the use of mutually understood signs, symbols, and symbiotic rules. The main steps inherent to all communications are the formation of communicative motivation or reason, message composition, and message encoding. So again, that goes back to everything I said, everything Rothstein said, everything Adam O said. It's just communication across all lines through all means and having understood message at the end of the day. Hey man, I hope that tastes good, boy, because you got a whole 2 jaws full, brother.
Hey man, it was, man. That was some broccoli, apples, ginger, pear, and kiwi juiced up, man.
Healthy.
It was good. That was the first thing of the day, man, too. Normally I be on my second one.
Ah,
But I
that's
had to
what's
do,
up.
like, yeah, let's say, but that was good.
I ain't mad at you, man. There's some stuff I be doing too, man. There's some stuff I be doing too.
Hey, in my
So
in my history with like dating females, that's like one of my first things. Like when they say like, what are you looking for in a woman? Like one of my first things are communication. The
what
majority.
do you look? So I'm with that being said, I'm gonna answer that with a question. You know what I'm saying? So as it pertains to a woman and you're trying to approach her, how would you open the lines of communication to her?
Okay. How would I open the lines of communication to a woman? That wasn't where I was going, but I
I
answered.
know I got a whole lot of things going on, but that kind of popped in my head, so I had to ask it.
Okay. I'm usually not the type of person that really reaches out to a woman. I'm kind of weird when it comes to approaching females. I guess because the fear of rejection probably is there. So I'm not usually,
Okay.
she would have to give me some type of sign
Signal.
Yeah, a signal. I'm not gonna just walk up to any woman. Now, when I was younger, I probably used to do it, but now I'm more subdued, and she have to give me some type of sign for me to completely go there.
So let me make sure I understand. You said mainly it's because you're a little older that you don't, I'm gonna say, jump off the deep end per se when it comes to approaching a woman. So, and she give you a sign, is it anything if she says, hey, good morning, or you smell good, or something to that nature? Would that be a sign for you to think possibly she might be interested?
Mine, mine ain't even talking. Mine is look.
Looks can be deceiving though.
But you can sense it. I always have sensed it. Always.
So if your wife is pissed off at you, her looks can be deceiving. When she got an angry look on her face, that means that she's happy.
Now, I ain't gonna say happy, but sometimes looks can be deceiving.
Most looks are what they are, though.
Because now, don't get me wrong. Everybody that know my wife knows she wears her emotions on her sleeve and it shows on her face. You dig what I'm saying? But at the same time, and I can honestly say we've gotten into some arguments over the looks where I thought she was upset and pissed off, and she was just chilling. And I came at her sideways. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say looks can be deceiving. And even with me, as I was growing up, and when I asked you about opening lines of communication to approaching a woman, my personality is loud and outgoing. You know what I'm saying? And people told me that my personality scares them off. You know what I
See,
mean? So it's, huh?
I think I'm more reserved. I'm kind of like Adam, more reserved. I ain't
You are to an extent. Now,
just like
you was one of the cats that had us jumping out that window on that back porch, sneaking out the house, nigga.
But I'm talking about for is like with women and stuff like that. It's just like I said, I'm more reserved. I kind of sit back and wait for a scent, like you said, a symbol or something like that, a sign.
So I'm gonna ask y'all this: as far as y'all business,
It ain't never been like, okay, I see somebody and I gotta go get her. It ain't never been like that. I had to sit back and watch and see how you move and see how you act and what you do. And then I watch like how many times you look at me. I wait for the smile, all that stuff.
so see, I guess I'm different,
So
and I'm
I'm
kind of ignorant.
communicating, but I'm not communicating verbally.
But it's on a different type of woman too, though.
Yeah.
If it's a female that I know that is, fuck it, I'm gonna just say it. If she a hoe,
Yeah, that's different.
I mean, I'm gonna probably be a little bit more aggressive because I'm trying to, get some. But I'm not at that stage now, so that's why I said, like, as I've gotten older, I'm not looking at women to just fuck now, because that it's diseases out there,
And it's everywhere. You want a woman, bro. You don't
yeah,
want a hoe. You want a woman.
yeah.
So I'm gonna flip it a little bit. When it comes to your business relationships with the communication, are you still as laid back as you are with the women, or you're more aggressive in your approach to have them understand exactly where you're coming from?
Oh, with business, I'm definitely like more off into it. Like, I have to communicate in business because that's how you making your money. So you gotta do. That's why I said at the beginning, I was like, when you're dealing with a business, you may not even like the people. You may not even want to communicate with these people, but you gotta communicate because you're running a business.
Right.
So
What about you,
regardless of it.
Rostin? What about you?
I agree with it, but I mean, for me right now, I'm an employee, not an employer, and my communication is really to a minimum. I
Is
kind
it
of like
because of
go
what you do?
do what I gotta do, and I get out. But when I'm talking about was like at my base at the job, but when I'm out and I'm going doing my deliveries or whatever, I do like speak to people, have little conversations and stuff like that. I communicate with them, but I mean like towards me at my building or whatever, I kind of like go in, may say a few words, and I'm gone.
Okay, I'm in the same boat as you, Brandon. I own a business and I'm an employee, and I'm just like you. I keep it to a minimum.
Right. Hey, you own a business, man? Can I get a job? I'm trying to get off the road.
All right, man. We'll see.
Now, me, I can honestly say when it comes to business relationships, not coworkers, but like the higher ups and things of that nature. Let's say for as an interview, so to speak, I come in there and I exude confidence. I exude knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So my body language as I approach you and come in, that's telling you off the bat that, hey man, this dude for real. Like my communication, a lot of my communication, I exude it before you even see me. Now, some people can mistake that for, oh, this is an angry black dude. And that's not always the case. That's just kind of my demeanor, my facial expressions, you know. And I do believe you convey well, how you grew up is how you convey and do certain things in life or how you handle business. You know what I mean? But the older that I get, I'm trying to change that and approach things a lot differently. Don't be as hot-headed. Think calmly. Don't think logically and a whole lot more logically and not logic and emotion at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, emotions and communication don't mix.
Yeah, emotions will mess you up every time.
Emotion doesn't even cause any thought in the brain. It's just how you feel. It's like it's no brain work being used when you're emotional. It's just how you feel. It's no
Because
thought.
it had been plenty times where I had the logic in my mind, and the logic had me think, man, just punch this nigga in this shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you shouldn't do that. Pop, pop, pop. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I try to use my words now. And I'm gonna give you an example. When my son was entering school and he started having issues, you know what I'm saying, with a few other little guys at school, because of how I grew up, I conveyed the message to them, why they talking, punch them in their shit. You know what I mean? And my wife sat me down and she was like, nah, you can't do that. I was like, what you mean? Fuck the hell? But it's like, nah, you can't do that because especially out in the county schools, they don't have metal detectors. They don't have police and stuff that's frisking you as you come through the door like you do in a city school. You know what I'm saying? So these little kids bringing knives and guns and what other weapons to do bodily harm to somebody because either they feel like it or because somebody says something sideways to them. You know what I mean? So she said, tell him use his words. You have to talk it through. So, and that's what I did. And come to find out, he really had no issues in school after that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he been suspended from school for fighting, but that's because the dude put his hands around his neck and he did what I told him to. Let them put their hands on you first. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's just, huh?
but that's why we have issues in the black community with us violence and killing each other. It's lack of communication, man. Like, and that's where it starts at.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you told him, like, hey, or your wife was like, hey, don't uh, don't just hit him. Communicate.
Yeah.
There's no sometimes you have to learn how to not communicate with people too.
What you mean?
The
It's
That's a
Sometimes,
certain people
gem,
you
bro. That's why I
can't.
need you to explain it.
I was
That's a
gonna say,
gem.
I believe it's certain people, like you said, it's certain people that you just shouldn't be around communicating with. Certain people
yep,
y'all don't mix.
yep,
People hold on to like some people from their past that you have nothing in common with now that's not gonna add to you.
That's
If you're
true.
not
yep.
adding to me, I don't need to be communicating with
That's
Yep.
true. But the only reason I said, well, I asked him to explain is because the statement that you made, you have some people that don't understand what you just said.
Okay. Well, Brandon kind of touched on it. Sometimes, like in the situation with your son, let's say that your wife told him, okay, communicate with him, and then he smack him anyway, and then he fights with him, and then he be like, Daddy, I did what you told me to do, communicated with him, he smacked me, I had to fight him. So at that point, after he's already reached out and did what he was supposed to do to try to communicate, to try to resolve the situation, and he got smacked for it, you shouldn't be trying to communicate with this person.
Right. You're right.
You
So
shouldn't
I'm glad.
continue to do it. You shouldn't continue.
I'm glad you spoke on that, because that's exactly what a lot when you have to leave people in the past or in the rear. That's exactly what it is. Not communicating is exactly what that is too. Communication. So you
Yep.
know, man, we can be on this all day. You hear me? We could be on this all day, but I'm pretty sure y'all got things to do, man. It's Father's Day. You know what I'm saying? Fellas, go be with your family. We're just gonna cut it. We're gonna end it right here. You know what I mean? And we're just gonna reconvene next week. Same bed time, same bed channel. You know what I mean? Hey, for
you.
anybody that's watching, man, happy Father's Day to y'all, man. Enjoy the rest of y'all
Happy
day.
Father's Day, fellas.
Father's Day. Peace.